Hi, I'm Slovak Reuper. People that don't like my politics would say that I hate immigrants and minorities. That is not true. I don't hate anyone. I am a Catholic. But what I do hate very passionately is daylight savings time and our European time zones. But daylight savings time saves us energy. 100 years ago, maybe. But now you will find that this is a myth and a lie. If you check Wikipedia, it says that there was a study in 2017 which showed that daylight savings time led to electricity savings of 0.3%. Okay, but a small percentage might be millions of dollars that we save each year thanks to daylight savings. Yeah, but we lose billions more due to lost productivity. Your primal brain doesn't understand daylight savings. The clock might say that you woke up at 7 a.m. as usual, but in reality you woke up an hour earlier. Your body and brain feel that. Firstly, due to the lack of sleep, and secondly, due to the environment. Suddenly, you don't wake up with delicious sunlight on your face, but with artificial LED lights. We hear from online experts like Dr. Andrew Huberman or Brian Johnson that getting sunlight as soon as you wake up is crucial for your health because it sets your circadian rhythm and helps you start the day by producing all kinds of good hormones. And in general, we hear from them how important sleep is and that just one bad night of sleep can have severe consequences. And this is true. Every year during daylight savings in spring, there is a huge increase in heart attacks and suicides because the rhythm of the people was disturbed, which increases stress, and they also slept an hour less, weakening their body. I don't blame these people because finally after several months of winter I can wake up at sunrise and it is such a beautiful experience. And now this feeling will be postponed by several weeks. And what for? Genuinely, why do we have to do this to ourselves? It is confusing, dangerous, and it costs us money through productivity loss and increased health issues. I don't want to go too much into conspiracies, but maybe that's the answer. Daylight savings time doesn't even do anything. The amount of sun is still the same. Imagine how confusing this must be for pets and farm animals. For no reason, everything moves by an hour. This is why some farmers don't even change their clocks at all because the animals need to be taken care of at the same time, regardless what some clock says. So it is the stupidest thing we could do, purely from a logical point of view. And the solution isn't even that difficult. When spring comes, don't change the time and keep the winter time. It is that simple. No chaos and no health issues. This is why if I ever get into office, abolishing daylight savings time will be among the first things, if not the first things I will do. Now, the second thing I mentioned in the beginning were time zones in Europe. This affects mainly Westerners, because the sun rises later in the West than in the East. With this in mind, take a look at the current time zone map of Europe. Spain is in the same time zone as Slovakia. Now, this is amazing for us Eastern Europeans. When I visited my family in Czechia and Slovakia last year in March, I woke up at 6 a.m. and the sun was already there. But then I returned to Switzerland and the sun rose after 7 a.m. and I had troubles waking up. Now, imagine someone who lives in western Spain in a city like Bilbao. They can expect sunrise between 8 to 9 a.m. That is beyond insane, and this negatively affects the lives of people there, especially young people, since the circadian rhythm shifts forward during puberty. This is another issue with today's system. Schools start at 7 or 8 a.m. But since the rhythm moves forward, this is like an adult going to school or to work at 4 or 5 a.m. If you are young and you can't sleep until late at night, this is not your fault. It is your natural rhythm and the system completely neglects it. A lack of sleep during puberty can lead to developmental issues overall. Now combine it with our digital age of loneliness and you get record high mental illness in the youth. And this is not some speculation. Towns that implemented later school days showed improvements in grades and safety in the community. So to summarize this, get rid of daylight savings, redraw time zones for Western Europe, and make school start later. To me, this issue is as important as immigration, because what use is all of this if our people and especially our youth suffers? This is another way to put Europe and Europeans first. I'm Slovak Royper, and I'll see you next week.